Something crazy just went down in Heartland. And honestly, I don't even know where to start. Episode 2 came in heavy, packed with emotions, secrets, and choices that might change everything for the Flemings. You'd think after that intense first episode, the show would slow down a little, right? Nope, Heartland never takes a break when it comes to testing its characters. And this time, Amy finds herself standing right between what her heart wants and what her family expects. The tension is real, and it's only getting worse from here. So, let's get straight into it. After the fire settled down and everyone started returning to their homes, Heartland didn't waste a single moment reminding us that peace never lasts long in this show. The aftermath of that chaos hits hard. The ranch is damaged, some areas are still unsafe, and people are just trying to process everything that happened. But even though Amy survived the danger, emotionally she's far from okay. You can tell she's carrying something inside her: guilt, confusion, fear, maybe all of it mixed together. And as if that's not enough, Lou's tension with Nathan's family is slowly boiling underneath everything, just waiting to explode. Now here's where things start to twist. Amy tries to focus on Lindy after what happened in the fire, and you can clearly see she's making an effort to rebuild that bond. She spends more time with her, helps her with homework, tries to make her smile again. It's touching, honestly. But even though Amy's trying to prove she's there, Lindy still feels that distance. You can see it in her eyes, that fear of losing someone again. And the thing is, kids don't forget that feeling, especially when they've already lost a parent. So when Amy gets a message from Nathan saying he wants to meet and talk about what Lou said, she hesitates. She doesn't know what's right anymore. Should she fight for her happiness or protect her family from more chaos? That's the kind of emotional mess Heartland does best. Meanwhile, Lou is on her own mission. After what happened with Nathan's sister and that shady business deal, Lou is furious. She feels betrayed, not just as a business partner, but as a sister who thought she was protecting Amy. And you know Lou, when she sets her mind on something, there's no stopping her. She's convinced that Nathan is bad news and she's ready to make sure Amy sees it too. But Lou being Lou, she doesn't realize that her overprotectiveness might actually be pushing Amy away. It's like the same cycle repeating again, two sisters trying to do what's right, but somehow ending up hurting each other instead. Then there's Nathan. The man who risked his life for Amy in that fire is now dealing with his own problems. His sister's betrayal cost him his reputation, his job, and possibly his relationship. You can feel his frustration when he shows up at the ranch, trying to talk to Amy while Lou's around. The air between them is so thick with tension, you could cut it with a knife. And just when you think Amy might give him a chance to explain, Lindy walks in, looking scared and quiet. That moment changes everything. Amy's heart shifts, you can see it on her face. She's torn between the man she cares about and the little girl who needs her more than anyone. The rest of the episode takes that emotional conflict and turns it into a slow burn drama that keeps you hooked from start to finish. Amy keeps trying to find balance, but the world around her doesn't give her space to breathe. Every time she thinks she's doing the right thing, something new happens to make her doubt herself. Whether it's Lou warning her again, or Lindy asking questions she can't answer, Amy's trapped in this emotional storm where every decision feels wrong. But that's exactly why we love this show, right? Heartland never gives you simple answers. It makes you feel every emotion the characters go through. You can't even pick a side anymore. Everyone has their reasons, and they all make sense. Amy wants love, Lindy wants safety, and Lou just wants to protect her family. But what happens when all those wants collide? That's where things get messy. And by the end of this episode, trust me, things are about to get real messy. So, after that tense moment between Amy, Nathan, and Lindy, you'd think things might cool down a little. But no, Heartland has other plans. The next day, the ranch is buzzing again, but this time it's not because of the fire. It's because of the tension nobody's really talking about. You can tell everyone's trying to act normal, pretending like things are fine. But under the surface, it's pure chaos. Amy's distracted, Lou's walking around like she's about to explode. And even Jack can feel that something's off. And when Jack senses it, you know it's serious. Amy tries to bury herself in work, because that's what she does when life gets complicated. She goes back to training horses, fixing fences, anything to avoid thinking about Nathan. But no matter what she does, his name keeps coming up. One of the local ranchers even stops by to talk about the business deal that went wrong. The same deal that Lou blames Nathan's sister for, and of course, that opens the wound again. Amy tries to stay neutral, but you can tell it hurts her to hear people talk badly about someone she still cares about. It's that quiet pain, the kind that sits heavy on your chest. Meanwhile, Lindy's school event is coming up and she's nervous. She's been practicing her little performance all week, but something's off. Amy notices she's not as excited as she used to be. When she asks what's wrong, Lindy says she doesn't want Amy to miss it this time. That line hits hard because it's more than just a request, it's a reminder. A reminder that in the past, Amy wasn't always there. So Amy promises, no matter what happens, she'll be there. You can see how much that means to Lindy. But you can also feel Amy's fear of disappointing her again. That's the thing about guilt, it doesn't just disappear, it lingers. Now let's talk about Lou. She's still furious about everything that went down with Nathan's sister. She's been trying to reach her to clear things up, but she's not picking up. That just fuels Lou's anger even more. She starts digging into the paperwork, trying to find out exactly what went wrong with the deal. And what she finds doesn't sit right with her. Some of the missing funds trace back to a company linked to Nathan's side of the family. And once Lou sees that, she doesn't hesitate, she drives straight to Amy's place to confront her again. That's Lou for you. She acts first, thinks later. The confrontation between the two sisters is intense. Amy's tired of Lou trying to control her life, while Lou insists she's only protecting her. They go back and forth, voices raised, emotions spilling everywhere. Lou says Nathan's family is using Amy, while Amy fires back saying Lou never trusts her judgment. It's raw, painful, and too real. They love each other deeply, but they just can't seem to meet in the middle. Lou storms out and Amy breaks down for a moment. You can tell she's reaching her limit. It's one of those scenes where silence says more than words. Later that evening, Nathan shows up again. He looks tired, worn down, like he's been carrying the world on his shoulders. He tells Amy that things with his sister got worse, that she's planning to sell her share of their land, possibly to the same investors who were part of the Heartland deal. That means the ranch could be in trouble again, and Amy knows it. Nathan says he wants to fix everything, but Amy doesn't know if she can trust him. Not after everything that's happened. Still, the way he looks at her, the way he tells her he's not giving up, you can feel the sincerity. It's heartbreaking because you want to believe him, but you also know trust doesn't come easy here. As if things weren't complicated enough, Lindy overhears part of their conversation. She hears Nathan's voice and sees Amy crying. And to a child's mind, that's all it takes. Later, she tells Jack that she doesn't want Nathan around anymore. She says he's the reason her mom is always sad. That's when Jack steps in. He talks to Amy the next morning and tells her something that hits her deep. Don't let history repeat itself. Lindy's already lost one parent to silence and distance. Don't make her lose another because of pride. That's classic Jack, straight to the point. Wise as ever, but Amy's caught in the middle of everything, her heart pulling her one way, her family pulling the other. And to make things even more complicated, T's absence keeps haunting her decisions. You can see it in how she pauses every time someone mentions love or trust. It's like she's afraid that opening up again means losing someone again. That kind of fear doesn't just fade away overnight. It stays, shaping every choice she makes, and then comes the twist nobody saw coming. A report from the county about the fire. Turns out, the cause might not have been completely natural. Someone might have started it, intentionally or by accident. The moment this gets out, everyone starts pointing fingers. Some blame Nathan's company for using old equipment on nearby land, others blame reckless campers. But nobody knows for sure. Amy's caught right in the middle of that rumor storm again. Her name, her family, and everything she's worked for, all getting dragged into something she didn't cause. By the end of the episode, Amy is sitting outside the ranch, watching the sunset, trying to find some peace. But deep down, she knows this isn't over. If anything, it's just beginning. Because in Heartland, every calm moment is just the eye of the storm. And that storm is coming fast. The next morning hits different. There's this strange quiet around the ranch. The kind that makes you feel like something's about to go wrong. Amy wakes up early, hoping to shake off everything that happened the night before. But no matter how hard she tries, her mind just won't rest. The rumors about the fire are spreading faster than anyone expected. And it's starting to take a toll on her. People are talking, assumptions are being made. And the one name that keeps coming up again and again is Nathan's. It's unfair. But that's how small towns work. News travels fast. And gossip travels even faster. Amy tries to stay focused. But you can tell the weight of it all is getting heavier. When she walks into town for supplies, she notices how people look at her differently. Whispers, half smiles, those quiet judgments you can feel even if nobody says a word. And just when she's about to head out, she bumps into Tim. Now, Tim's been keeping his distance lately, trying not to get involved in Amy's personal life. But even he can't stay out of this one. He tells her straight up, you need to be careful who you trust right now. The way he says it, it's less of a warning and more of a reminder. Amy doesn't say much, but you can see it hits her back at the ranch. Lou's stress is reaching a whole new level. Between the business pressure, the deal that fell apart, and her guilt for fighting with Amy, she's stretched thin. She keeps replaying their argument in her head, wondering if she went too far. But Lou's stubborn. She's not the type to admit she's wrong, not easily. Instead, she throws herself into work, trying to fix things behind the scenes. She calls a few contacts, digs deeper into Nathan's sister's records. And when she finds something strange, her heart drops. There's a transaction that doesn't match, money moved quietly right before the fire. It doesn't prove anything, but it's enough to raise eyebrows. That's when Lou realizes she might have to bring this to Jack, but she hesitates. Because Jack's patience for drama is running thin. He's seen too many fights tear this family apart, and he doesn't want to see it happen again. When she finally goes to him, he listens in silence, his expression unreadable. Then he says something that surprises her. Before you start another fire, make sure you're not the one holding the match. That line stops Lou cold. Because deep down, she knows he's right. She's so focused on protecting Amy that she might actually be making things worse. Meanwhile, Nathan decides to take matters into his own hands. He shows up again, but this time, it's not about Amy or their relationship, it's about the fire. He tells her he's been talking to a few of his workers, and one of them mentioned something suspicious. The night before the fire, someone was seen near the property line carrying fuel. Nobody reported it because they thought it was just maintenance, but now, after what happened, it doesn't look so innocent. Nathan's trying to do the right thing to clear his name and help Amy, but she's still unsure. Every time she looks at him, she sees both the man who risked his life for her and the man whose family is now being blamed. It's a battle between the heart and the mind. Later, Amy talks to Lisa, who's been watching all of this unfold quietly. Lisa gives her that calm, grounded wisdom that Amy's been missing. She tells her sometimes doing nothing is worse than doing the wrong thing. That sticks with Amy. Because maybe she's been too afraid to act, too scared to make another mistake. So she decides to do something. She joins Nathan in trying to uncover what really happened with the fire. Together, they start asking around, talking to neighbors, checking the affected areas. And somewhere along the way, that old chemistry between them starts to come back. You can see the way they look at each other, cautious, but full of something real. But of course, in Heartland, happiness never comes easy. While Amy's out there trying to fix things, Lindy overhears Lou talking to Jack about Nathan. Lou says she doesn't trust him, that she's scared Amy's making the same mistake she did years ago. And those words hit Lindy hard. That night, when Amy comes home, Lindy's quiet again, distant, withdrawn. She asks her mom if Nathan is the reason everyone's fighting. Amy tries to explain, but the truth is too complicated for a child to understand. She just tells her it's not that simple, but to Lindy, it feels simple. If Nathan's presence brings pain, then maybe he shouldn't be there at all. That night ends with Amy sitting on the porch, the firelight flickering from inside, her thoughts running wild. She's caught in this emotional storm where every choice hurts someone she loves. And while she's lost in thought, her phone buzzes. It's a message from Nathan. He says he found something important and needs her to meet him first thing in the morning. Amy hesitates, staring at the screen for a long time. Before finally replying, "I'll be there." You can feel the weight behind those words. When morning comes, she drives out to meet him, but what she finds isn't what she expected. Nathan's truck is there, parked on the edge of the old trail, but he's nowhere to be seen. His phone is on the dashboard and the driver's door is slightly open. Amy calls out his name, no answer. The woods are silent except for the wind. Something's wrong. That peaceful calm that started the day suddenly feels heavy and eerie. Heartland just took a dark turn and Amy's right in the middle of it. Amy freezes for a moment, staring at that empty truck like her brain can't process what's happening. The door's open, the keys are still in the ignition, and Nathan's phone just sitting there buzzing like it's waiting for someone to pick up. She calls out again, louder this time, but all she hears back is the echo of her own voice bouncing off the trees. The same woods that just days ago were burning are now dead silent. And that silence is worse than any sound. Something's definitely wrong, and Amy can feel it in her gut. She takes a few cautious steps forward, calling Nathan's name again, her voice trembling a little now. The path leads deeper into the trees, and every step feels heavier. There are tire marks in the dirt, but also footprints to sets. One clearly Nathan's and the other smaller, lighter, like someone else was here. Amy bends down to look closer, and for a split second, you can see that fear in her eyes. It's not just worry anymore. It's the kind of dread that comes when your instincts tell you this isn't going to end well. Just as she's about to go deeper, she hears a sound, faint but enough to make her turn. It's coming from further down the trail. Her heart starts racing. She grabs her phone, ready to call for help, but before she can dial, Nathan appears. He's alive, but he looks shaken, covered in dirt, breathing hard like he's been through something. Amy rushes over, relief written all over her face, but Nathan stops her, catching his breath. He tells her he found something. A piece of burnt fabric and what looks like part of a gas can buried near the trees. He thinks whoever started that fire came back to cover their tracks. Amy's mind is spinning. If Nathan's right, this whole thing is bigger than anyone thought. Someone deliberately caused that fire, and if Nathan's name is being dragged through the mud, maybe that's exactly what they wanted. She looks around, feeling like they're being watched, and tells him they need to leave now. They drive back to the ranch, silent the whole way, both processing what just happened back home. Amy tries to tell Lou and Jack what they found, but Lou's still stuck on her own version of the truth. She doesn't want to hear it. She thinks Nathan's trying to manipulate Amy again. The argument that follows is brutal. Amy tells Lou she's done being told what to do, that she needs to make her own choices. Lou fires back, saying love has made her blind before. It's like two storms colliding, neither willing to give in. Jack finally steps in, raising his voice just enough to stop them both. He says, "You two are fighting so hard to protect each other. You can't see you're tearing each other apart." The room goes quiet after that. Later that night, Amy's sitting outside again, watching the horses move quietly under the moonlight. She thinks about everything: the fire, Nathan, Lindy, Lou, and you can tell she's emotionally exhausted. Then Lindy comes out, holding that same photo of Ty she grabbed during the evacuation. She sits next to Amy and asks, "Mom, were you scared when the fire started?" Amy nods. Lindy looks up and says softly, "I was scared too. But when you came back, I wasn't anymore." That line just hits you. It's like the whole message of this episode wrapped into one sentence. No matter what's burning around them, as long as they come back to each other, they'll be okay. The next day brings a bit of calm. The investigation about the fire officially starts, and the sheriff comes to talk to everyone at the ranch. Amy and Nathan give their statements, but you can tell this story is far from over. The sheriff mentions they found some strange tire tracks near the site, ones that don't match any local vehicles. That small detail sticks in Amy's mind. She's not one to let go of things easily, and this time, she knows she's onto something. Lou finally approaches Amy again later in the day, softer this time. She admits she might have gone too far. She just didn't want to see her sister get hurt again. Amy doesn't say much, just nods because deep down, she understands. They've always fought because they care too much. Lou promises to look into the business deal from her end and try to make things right. It's a small moment of peace between them, but it feels fragile. Like one wrong move could break it again. As for Nathan, he decides to stay away from the ranch for a few days. He tells Amy he needs to clear his head, but there's something in his tone that feels final. Amy doesn't stop him this time. Maybe she's too tired to fight, or maybe she knows that if their love is real, it'll find its way back. When he leaves, you can see the conflict in her eyes. Part of her wants to run after him, but the other part knows she can't fix everything at once. That night, as the sun sets over Heartland, Amy stands by the fence, looking out at the horizon. The fire's gone, but the smoke hasn't completely cleared, not in the sky and not in her heart. She whispers softly, "We'll figure it out," almost like she's trying to convince herself. And honestly, that's what makes this show so powerful. It's not about perfect endings, it's about resilience, forgiveness, and trying again. Even when everything feels broken. But just before the episode ends, there's one last shot, the sheriff finding another burnt piece of fabric. This time with a tag on it. It's from the same brand Nathan's company used for their uniforms. The camera lingers on it just long enough to make you question everything. Did someone set him up? Or is there something Nathan hasn't told Amy yet? Either way, this story is far from finished. Heartland Season 19 Episode 2 left us with more questions than answers. And if this is just the beginning, then we're in for one emotional, unpredictable ride. The truth is coming, and when it does, it's going to shake everything at Heartland. For more updates, breakdowns, and theories on what's coming next in Heartland Season 19, make sure to like and follow. Because trust me, the next episode is about to change everything.